Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today I just wanted to do a little vlog about my pre-op and post-op experience. As you guys all know, I had surgery on my Achilles tendon, which was completely torn, and now this is week number 8 after my surgery. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update on how my experience has been. It happens very quickly. It actually doesn't hurt. It does feel like you get kicked in the back of the leg. Sound wise, I honestly thought somebody was shooting. Not pow pow pow, but like it was just one. When you hear it, you also feel it. So it's like, what the hell just happened? The next day, after attempting to go to work and trying to walk, my foot was swollen. I couldn't even put any pressure on it. It was really bad. So I went ahead and went to urgent care to get a boot and hopefully them say that nothing was like majorly wrong or anything. The doctor told me that it was just a partial tear and that, you know, I can wear the boot for 6 weeks, and then over that time that my partially torn Achilles would heal. About 3 weeks in, my recovery process kind of like paused for a little bit, so I went ahead to Ortho Carolina. I had an appointment with an actual surgeon. He laid me down on my stomach on the table and had me like put my legs up, kind of like bend at the knee, so my feet were up in the air but I was face down. And he kind of like would squeeze my calf to see if my foot would do this little number here. When he did that, he did my left foot, which was the injured foot, and it wasn't moving. He was saying, you know, I believe you have pretty much, it's completely torn. Do you want to have your surgery tomorrow, or would you like to wait until Monday? So I'm freaking out when he's talking to me. I'm like, after he said the word surgery, I was done listening at that point. That means I need to be cut open, which that's kind of a fear of mine. I don't want to be cut, guys. I wasn't ready to go into surgery the next day. Like, I wanted to be able to prepare for it, figure everything out with my job and everything, because what they were telling me was after surgery I would need 6 weeks in a cast and then spend 6 weeks in a boot as far as the recovery process. And then ultimately he stated that it would take like 6 months to a year before I'm like 100% back to doing regular activities, possibly running. I'm not gonna lie, at this point in my life I am never doing a physical activity again. I'm going to get so fat. I'm gonna have everybody roll me around wherever I need to go. I'm probably gonna look like Violet off of the Willy Wonka movie. Gonna be rolling me around like a big blueberry. So I freaked out whenever he said tomorrow. So I went ahead and got it for Monday. June 13th, going into surgery. You know, they set me up with the IV and everything, wheeled me back. I'm nervous, but you know, gotta keep hope alive. Be a G, go out like a champ. I remember them rolling me into the operating room. They were jamming some kind of music. I don't know if it was techno or what, but they clearly get crunk in there. They put this little mask over my face and she was just like, take a couple of deep breaths. After that, I was waking up in my bed. Ten days later, on June the 23rd, at this point they removed my splint. I'm gonna call it a splint, the fabric cast. Turns out I had staples in my leg. Getting the staples removed, it wasn't what I expected. Pinches. So he tried to trick me a few times and try to hurry up and do it so that like I wouldn't keep jumping and everything. After the staples were removed, I was put in a regular traditional cast. For a total of 6 weeks I had a cast. The After my surgery, I was in a soft cast, and then after the 10 days, they put me in a hard cast. About 4.5 weeks after that is whenever I got my cast removed, which was July the 26th. Whenever the cast was removed, I was freaking out to know like what it looked like. My skin. So my skin was so like flaky. It was just itching. Like I just wanted to like scratch it so bad. My calf muscle and everything, it kind of like, I say deflated, like I didn't have a muscle, but there's a muscle there. It's just since it wasn't being worked, it's not strong anymore. The instruction from the doctor, I can start putting pressure on it, but it's kind of like what you can take. Once I got to a point where I'm able to put on like a shoe or a sneaker, they gave me like this green stretchy band that I would be able to exercise my foot, practice flexing and going side to side, just to help me condition my foot to get back into, you know, the walking motion, flexing and pointing, make it move like this. Putting pressure on my foot, he said I would have bruising, it'll be swollen, you know, I'll have a little bit of pain. Still to this day, my foot is still numb from surgery. It's really weird whenever, you know, you're feeling your foot and then you don't feel it even though you're touching it. It's just weird. As far as the skin, they told me that I shouldn't soak my foot. You know, I shouldn't try to force to, you know, get the skin off and everything. I can't get a pedicure for like 3 or 4 months or something. So in the event any of you are getting any kind of foot surgery, ankle, whatever down there, get a pedicure before you get on the cutting board. Whenever we were trying to put my foot in the boot, my foot wouldn't go completely flat in there, and what she did was she put like these 2 little cushions in there to assist me in, you know, actually touching the bottom of the boot, I guess. She told me for the next day or so, you know, I can try to put my foot all the way to the back of the boot so that it's flat, and just remove a cushion as I'm able to like lower it down a little bit. That took about 3 days. Oh my gosh, you guys, I thought I was gonna be able to turn my scooter in that day that my cast was being removed and I was getting my boot, because I thought, yeah, I can start walking now. No, you can't. The nurse was telling me that I should keep my scooter for at least another 72 hours, you know, to get acclimated to being in the boot, putting pressure on it and everything. I'm like, girl, no, I'm about to walk up out of here. When it was time for me to leave and I was trying to get off the bed, oh my God, that was like the worst pain ever. And it comes apart from, one, no pressure was on your foot, so you was never putting your foot on the ground. Also, two, you know, your nerves and everything are still trying to get back functioning, so it's like not everything is together yet. So of course I had to use my scooter, but she did let me know that I can turn it in whenever I'm ready after that. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this happened on July the 26th. Today is August the 16th and I'm still using my scooter. I really didn't want to need my scooter, but I definitely need it. So I just went ahead and swallowed my pride and scooted my behind to work. I had like so much anxiety, like prepping to go to work. Like I just needed to just go. I did want to add, in the beginning, right after surgery, they told me that to keep ice on the splint that I had. However, whenever I got my cast, the guy that put my cast on, he told me to put the pack of ice behind my knee, because it's kind of hard to ice your ankle when you got this thick cast around it. You can still feel the coolness to a certain extent, but it's not as effective as if it was directly on there. So he told me to put the ice behind my knee. When I tell you, that was like the best advice I have ever gotten. That was the best advice. When I did that, you can literally feel the coolness down your leg, like just all the way down, and you can feel it in your ankle. Like it does help. It sounds crazy because you're like, my knee not connected to my ankle. I'm telling y'all, that works. I hope you guys got some information from me as far as my Achilles tendon repair. There's 3 ways that they can repair your Achilles tendon. One is being able to pull your Achilles back down to your heel and, like, I don't know if they sew it together or what. I don't even want to think about it because it makes me cringe thinking about it. They'll either, you know, repair it and connect it back to your heel, or they will take a graft from your foot. This was one of the other options that he said might happen. The thing about that was they didn't know how bad it was until they cut me open to see what it was. So that was another option that he said, and I mentioned it at work, and everybody told me that grafts hurt. So thank God I didn't have to get one. However, if any of you have to, you know, get that done, or a graft of any sort, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I hope you heal quickly and have a speedy recovery, but I don't wish that on anybody because I was really scared. The third option was to use a cadaver, which I found out is a piece from a dead body. Like, who'd have thought? Never knew that people did that. I know people donate their bodies to science and stuff, but I didn't know they're gonna just use dead people's parts in your body. Like, I'm good. Luckily, they were able to repair it. I didn't have any issues. My healing process has been pretty smooth outside of the whole walking process and, you know, the pain that came with that. I am slowly improving. Right now I'm able to take about maybe 40 steps before I need to sit down somewhere. I don't try to push myself too hard, because if you do try to do too much too early, you can, you know, re-injure yourself or just mess up the healing process, and then you'll probably need some surgery or something later on down the road, or you just gonna have a lot of pain whenever you get older. So I don't encourage to overwork yourself whenever you're in the process of healing. They told me ultimately this takes about 6 months to a year to heal. I'm only on like month number 2, which I think walking around in the boot for the 6 weeks when I originally injured myself, I think that did a little more damage, but everything's good. I feel like my foot is in a good place, and that I would be able to walk fully soon without, you know, needing a scooter. I'm also hoping that I don't need my scooter, because you have to pay for it, and it's, as the weeks go on, it's just more money out of my pockets. But it's all about the healing process and the road to recovery and recovering. I hope you guys enjoyed my 8-week post-op update. If you guys have any questions, please be sure to put it down below. If you have any experiences, anything different than what I've experienced, maybe some exercises that you worked on, any kind of rehab, whatever it is, go ahead and put that down below. I would love to hear some of your input, even some of your stories as far as, you know, how long did it take for you to get back walking if you did have an Achilles tendon repair. We'd like to know. Maybe some things I have to look forward to, or some things that I dodged, you know, from doing certain activities or not doing certain activities. I hope you guys enjoyed today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next vlog. Bye.